It has been 20 years since the release of The Ring. A story about a cursed videotape that after you watched it would end in your death in 7 days. This became a global success, breaking box office records in the horror genre. Many horror fans may know that The Ring is a remake of the 1998 Japanese film Ringu, which was based on Koji Suzuki's novel of the same name that debuted in 1991. But how much do you know about the franchise itself, or even the sinister origins of the vengeful spirit in the film? Here are 5 interesting facts on the origins of The Ring that you may never have,
or probably,
heard of. We will start our list with 2 facts about the franchise before we discuss the origins. And before we jump into that list, don't forget it is the quest for 5,000 subscribers that you can help us get to by subscribing to the channel if you are not already subscribed. Add a like, drop a comment, share it on social media. It takes less than 30 seconds, and we appreciate your support. And we appreciate the support of those that are doing that now. So thank you very much. And we don't just want to have you do that without you getting something. Every video that hits 100 likes and 100 comments, you have a chance to win various prizes that we have from the Regal and Cinemark. And once we hit 5,000 subscribers, you win this box of Strawberries and Scream, signed by David Arquette and Matthew Lillard.
Number 5. The Ring earned $249 million on a $48 million budget, setting a record for the highest grossing horror remake, a record previously held by Bram Stoker's Dracula from 1992, which had earned $215 million. The Ring maintained the status for 15 years until It Chapter 1 was released, shattering the record with a gross eclipsing the $700 million mark. Number 4.
The Ring is the second remake of the Japanese original film.
死因は？わからない。突然の心臓停止ってことしか。
The first was the Ring virus, which was remade in Korea in 1999. Just like its American counterpart, the primary antagonist's name was changed. In total, Sadako, the original woman in the well, has appeared in 4 novels, 2 television series, multiple mangas, 2 video games, 7 standalone films, 3 crossover films, one where she faces Kyoko from The Grudge, and 2 films where she faces Korea's Bun Shin-suba from the movie The Witchboard. She's got a lot of films out there, kind of the Jason of Japan, only a lot creepier.
Definitely a lot creepier.
The influence of this character, kicking off the Asian horror boom in the early 2000s and late 90s, and then all the parodies that you've seen in like comedies, and like every single mystery ghost video that pops up on YouTube now from Japan features a woman with black hair over her face.
Number 3. The character Samara is the American version of the character in Ringu, Sadako, who is based on the Japanese urban legend Onryo, an enraged, vengeful, and powerful spirit that can influence the living and even kill them. The legend can be traced back to the 8th century, where the earliest story is of Prince Nagaya, who died in 729. The powers that Onryo possesses, and which is displayed in the film, is known as Nensha, an ability which allows her to telekinetically burn images onto surfaces or into a person's mind. Several people over the last 100 years have claimed to have had this power, but were eventually discredited.
This famously came up if you watch some paranormal videos about ghost pictures back in like the early 1900s, where you had mediums that would take pictures and they would see like this ectoplasm rising from them. That is where a lot of this was coming up originally back then, because it's like, oh look, there it is, the ghost is implanting itself onto the photos. But a lot of those were eventually just debunked, and a lot of them were scams.
Not surprising. Number 2.
Sadako is inspired by 2 ghost stories. The first is the ghost story of Okiku. Samurai Oyama attempts to seduce Okiku, the maid at a mansion owned by another samurai, but he is rejected. An angry Oyama steals a plate from a set of 10 expensive Dutch plates, and he threatens Okiku that if she does not become his mistress, he will say that she had stolen the plate, thus dishonoring her. A distraught Okiku instead throws herself into a well and drowns. Soon after, Okiku would return every night, climbing out of the well and appearing to Oyama. She would count
1、2、3、4、5
and then would begin to sob. This would continue until Oyama finally was driven to insanity.
Number 1. The second story is The Ghost of Yatsuya. A young samurai, Tamaya Lemon, hopes to rise in the ranks of the samurai and in power by marrying Oiwa, the daughter of Yatsuya. The samurai begs for his daughter's hand, but he refuses, which causes Tamiya to take matters into his own hands, killing her father. Another man, Naosuke, witnesses what has happened and uses it to blackmail him in exchange for marrying Oiwa's sister, Asode, who is already married. The 2 men conspire to frame Asode's husband for the murder and then eventually kill him. Several years pass and another woman falls in love with Tamiya. She poisons Oiwa's facial cream, which leaves her horribly disfigured, feeling that Tamiya would then leave her. He does. However, in order to keep his honor, he hires a man to rape Oiwa so that he is not dishonored. The man instead reveals to Oiwa what she now looks like, which causes her to commit suicide. Osade also commits suicide when she refuses to consummate her marriage to Naosuke. Oiwa returns to Tamiya's wedding day and haunts all of those involved with the deceptions dating back to her father's death by projecting telepathic images until they are driven to insanity and eventually their deaths.
Pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Now this last story changes a little bit. It's changed over time, where different things happen during the encounters over time. So this one was the most accurate one that I could find.
Well, and that happens, right? It's like the game of telephone.
Mm-hmm.
And as you pass it along, it changes.
Yes. All right, we hope you enjoyed that one, and don't forget to
Like, subscribe, and share.
And until the next The Pop 5, see
See
ya.
ya.